We're in the capital of South Canterbury, Timaru, the city on Caroline Bay on the east coast of the South Island. A bustling centre of commerce with a port that serves the farms that stretch to the foothills of the Southern Alps. This is round 3 of the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship and the first of the one-day events on the calendar. So let's take a look at the start list. Hayden Paddon leads the field in his Hyundai, followed by the Subaru of Ben Hunt. Robbie Stokes is third in hot form after his win in the Canterbury Rally. Josh Marston at 4 and Rana Horan at 5 in the Skoda. Emma Gilmore looking for better fortune in her Suzuki. Matt Summerfield at 7 in his Mirage. Then Mike Young in the Subaru, his first rally for 2021. Regan Ross in the R5 Fiesta. Kingsley Jones next in his R5 Skoda. Todd Borden, the sole entry in Cat 1A. Phil Campbell in the AP4 Fiesta. Hayden McKenzie in his Evo 10. Duncan McCrosty in the Mazda AP4. And Jono Shapley, the final entry in his Evo 10. Hayden Paddon close to taking the title if he could stay on form here.
South Canterbury's always home for me. It's where it all started, and it's always good to come back and see so many familiar faces. And even driving on one of the stages there today, I remember used to live in one of the houses when I was like a 2 or 3 year old. So it definitely brings back memories. And nothing's a given in this sport, so we need to just focus on putting together a good performance, try and get maximum points. But in saying that, the others are getting quicker, and we certainly seen them getting closer to us, which is it means we've got to keep up in our game as well. So it's really cool to see that progression. And we want to battle, we want to race with everyone, and as I say, nothing's a given in this game.
Ben Hunt looks to be the closest competition to Paddon.
Yeah, the forestry stages, a typical forestry stage. It's pretty muddy in places where the skidders and log haulers and all that have been working, and you have to drive that with caution. And there's a few places you can pick up punches, but it's a grouse-wee stage, and 20% or 30% of it could be pretty challenging. But overall, I think it'll be awesome to add that into the mix of the fast-flowing public roads.
And mate, we're just going to ask you about Tony's new hairdo. He's sporting a different look this weekend. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, well, right from a young age, Tony's been a huge fan of Richard Mason, and he's got the blonde tips like he has now. So, big fanboy moment.
Saturday morning we'll see the cars tackle 3 stages before a service at Fairley. Stage 2, a slippery forest stage. While the other roads are fast, 3 more stages before lunch, including Spur Road with those stunning views of the Southern Alps. Then 3 stages in the afternoon and a finish at Levels Raceway with a 4-lap blast around the iconic racetrack.
Timaru is
fast. My first rally in the South Island.
It's for me coming home.
Joining me in commentary, Blair Bartels. Blair, looks like the conditions are perfect for this rally.
It's certainly a bit fresh out this morning, Budgie, but we're used to seeing negative temperatures and icy conditions at South Canterbury, so it's probably a bit of a relief for the drivers.
A popular spectator corner, one of the features of Stage 1, with a good crowd braving the frosty conditions. Hayden Paddon starts as favourite on his home rally, with lots of fast straights in the stage, his advantage not as great as we've seen at rounds 1 and 2.
There's some big straights where obviously there's not a heap of opportunity to gain time, but by the same token, there's some seriously fast corners that require big commitment.
Paddon will set the stage time. 8 minutes 26.6, smashing the stage record.
The shiny stuff was slippery as hell.
Ben Hunt had changed his gearbox ratios to get a higher top speed. Will it be enough?
It's definitely an important factor at Rally South Canterbury to have a good top speed. We expect to see maybe some of the R5 cars struggling a little bit, just being that little bit shorter geared. Well, and that's a bit of an understeer moment that's killed a lot of momentum for Ben. That's really crucial on a rally like this.
Ben's time, 20 seconds slower than Paddon. Robbie Stokes is on form after a win at Canterbury 2 weeks ago. But his rally, short-lived.
6 right, 30.
We'll just pull over up here. I'll just quickly check it's the tyre.
Yeah.
That might be a little bit optimistic, Robbie. It's never a good sign when there's steam coming out of the bonnet.
Josh Marston hoping his Day 2 form from Rally Whangarei would continue. He was second fastest on the stage with 8 minutes 44.9. Emma Gilmore also hoping that her luck would change. Speed not an issue with her, but she's been plagued with small issues all season that have cost her good results.
And this whole team has put such an emphasis on getting this car right. The speed's absolutely there, but the luck with the mechanical problems has just been atrocious. Certainly a bit cleaner through that corner, carrying some good speed.
Five right. 70. Sorry.
Well, lucky there, so maybe that's a sign that this will be a better result today. Matt Summerfield, 5th on the stage.
For Matt, this is a happy hunting ground. He won this rally when it wasn't part of the championship in this car last year.
This is Mike Young's first rally in the South Island, and he's got plenty of experience in Australia and in the Asia Pacific.
And they run a huge variety of roads in the APRC, but nothing like the fast, flat-out roads of South Canterbury.
Regan Ross slotting into 8th fastest in the R5 Fiesta.
And as a man who's really made his reputation driving Ford Escorts fast, he's really starting to get his head around this R5 Fiesta now. Although that's typical Escort style.
Kingsley Jones having issues right from the start line with a differential issue that saw the car swapping between front and rear drive. He'd retire at stage end. Phil Campbell was 6th fastest, but a stick had hold his radiator, so he retired to the service park and would rejoin later in the morning. Todd Borden would slot in behind Regan Ross in the older Evo 6.
And great news for Todd. On the eve of the rally, he got confirmation that his new R5 car is on the final leg of its journey to New Zealand.
And Hayden McKenzie rounding out the top 10 in his Evo 10. Special Stage 2, a totally different road through the forest at Kakahu. Wet and slippery, the prevailing conditions here.
And the average speed for the stage was some 50 kilometres an hour slower. There were so many traps in here, and it was just really important to drive through and have a clean run.
Patton able to push hard with a lot of forestry experience over the years. 17 minutes, 50 seconds for Hayden.
5 right, tight and short minus double. 60. Down 3 left. 20. Fast 3 right minus. 30. 5 right, don't. 40.
Trickier than what I thought. It's this morning with a bit of frost, it's if it's not mud, it's the ice, and if it's not the mud or the ice, it's the pine needles. It's just constantly slippery in here and really, really hard to read the grip. So you almost just got to tippy toe through. That's all we can really do, really.
Rana Horan doesn't have much experience rallying in forests, but he's an off-road champion, so a big fan of these conditions. Just 22 seconds off Patton's pace and moving up to 2nd. Emma Gilmore was looking strong despite that off in stage 1, but a gearbox issue would stop her on this stage.
Titans 6, Titans late over bump, 30, 6 left, Titans on crest, into, it sounds like it 5 right, opens, Titans slight.
Oh, that's devastating for Emma. I don't think there's a single person out there that doesn't wish that her luck would change.
It is luck solid. Is it?
Josh Marston now 3rd, but he had Matt Summerfield just 14 seconds behind. Summerfield actually moved ahead of Ben Hunt on the stage into 4th. Well, Hunt struggling for pace in these conditions.
Matt's certainly showing that he's going to throw his hat in the ring today and be a real contender for a strong finish. Here's the start of the stage, and you can already see how muddy and slippery it is. Ben Hunt normally relishes forestry roads, but it's really for him just a case of surviving, and he knows that he can make some time back up when we get back on the public roads. Just look at how hard he's having to work to throw the big car around in here.
Yeah, it's probably one of the most difficult stages I've actually ever done in this car. Like, I love forestry and the tighter the better, but yeah, there wasn't many corners that had much grip in there, so yeah, you don't know if you're going too slow or yeah, see what happens.
Hayden McKenzie's impressive debut in the championship ended with a crash on this stage, in what were probably the toughest conditions he's faced since turning to gravel rallying. Regan Ross moving up to 6th with a good run through the stage.
Mate, looked like you might have made a little bit of time up there on Mike in front of you.
Oh, we had a spin at the start. I was looking down at the dash and just spun another corner. We got quite a big fuel load and it handled quite poorly, but had to reverse up probably an honest 10, you know, so a wee bit gutted about that, but it wasn't as slippery as I thought it was going to be. So, yeah, it's hard to know the pace. It's so slippery and tricky and you can go off so easy, so yeah.
Todd Borden looking forward to taking delivery of his Fiesta R5. Certainly would be easier to drive in these conditions than his old Evo 6. He's now 25 seconds behind Ross.
And it's worth remembering this car is 22 years old. It doesn't have any of the clever differentials or big travel suspension that we see in the more modern cars. It's certainly got plenty of power, but I don't know if that's all that helpful in these tricky forestry stages.
Mike Young hanging on to 8th despite engine issues which had slowed him on the first 2 stages. Stage 3, Mulvey Hill Road, the longest stage of the day, back on public roads through farmland. Padden at home on these roads, this really is his backyard, having grown up in Geraldine.
Boy, and he's using all the road on these super fast roads. That's seriously brave.
Flat 7 left. Maybe.
And again, this is top gear. Absolutely flat out.
Fast 5 left plus 20. Hug, very long 5 right plus opens, very long out. Tightens, half minus it, shed okay.
Another stage win would put him 1 minute and 20 ahead, but this stage also suiting Ben Hunt, who was able to stretch the legs of his Subaru.
And while the bigger Group NZ cars do carry more weight, they also have bigger engines, and bigger engines equal more power.
Josh Marston was 3rd going into the stage and really finding a rhythm on these roads. But late in the stage, an unavoidable incident left the Holden too damaged to continue.
And this team, although the speed's been great all year, they've had issues that they've finally got on top of with a mammoth effort since the non-championship Rally Canterbury not that long ago.
Boys put a massive effort in. We changed a few things after the problems we've had earlier on this year, and the RDL crew worked so hard over the last week and a half since Canterbury, so massive thanks to them, and it's certainly not the result I want to give them, but it's motorsport.
Stage 4 and just 9 cars left after an eventful morning. Padden continued to lead the way. This stage, though, featured a slow zone as the road was damaged from recent flooding. This was a way to avoid any further damage to the road.
And this is a fantastic feature of the Rally Safe system we use for timing and tracking that allows us to use a road and keep all the residents happy.
One of the challenges, of course, is to keep up your concentration after going slow, as Ben Hunt explains here.
That stage is grouse, and then we got to the 40k slow zone, and trying to find your rhythm for the last kilometre or so was damn near impossible.
Anna Horan extending his lead in 2nd over Ben Hunt. Matt Summerfield now 4th, 15 seconds behind Hunt, so definitely a podium battle. Regan Ross, less than a minute behind as well. This podium fight would play out over the afternoon stages. Mike Young's team had worked at service to fix the engine issue. He was able to get back to 6th on this stage.
And it's certainly a rally where you want that engine quite literally firing on all cylinders. You need every bit of horsepower you can get.
Todd Borden was struggling with a centre diff issue and was making life hard. Another half spin here, not helping, as he dropped a place behind Duncan McCrosty. Crosty 29 seconds ahead and just 14 seconds behind Young, but confused about where the start of the 40k zone is. Jono Shapley improving his speed as the day went on. Stage 6, Spur Road, and with views of the Southern Alps as a backdrop, great setting for the power stage. Hayden Padden first through. With 5 points on offer, there's no holding back.
And with just a handful of points between 2nd and 6th in the championship, these bonus points have proven themselves to be absolutely crucial.
Flat half, 5 left, less in.
So let's see his time to the line. The record was 6 minutes 41.4, set in 2019.
Break 80.
Wow, 6 minutes 12 from Padden.
Got to use all the road, don't you?
Ben Hunt next through. These points on offer could mean the difference in Ben staying in the hunt for the championship.
And Ben's now won 2 championships, so he understands the importance of every single point.
Okay, down to the line. 6 minutes 27.4, that's 15.4 seconds slower than Hayden. Rana Horan next through, but his time just 4.5 seconds slower than Hunt. Matt Summerfield next, he was 7.8 seconds slower again, so looking like the top 4. Phil Campbell had rejoined, and he could take points here, but he was just slower than Summerfield.
And often for competitors who have retired early and are able to fix the car, this power stage is a fantastic opportunity to salvage something from the weekend.
In the end, Regan Ross would claim the final points for 5th on the stage, 3.8 seconds faster than Campbell.
And with Josh Marston's unfortunate retirement and Ben Hunt 2nd fastest, that brings Ben and Regan effectively equal for 2nd in the championship.
So there it is, Hayden Padden over Rana Horan, Ben Hunt in 3rd, Matt Summerfield 4th, Regan Ross rounding out the top 5, Mike Young, Duncan McCrosty and Todd Borden completing our set. With 2 tyre failures in as many events, there are worrying signs as Padden inspects the tyres which have just come off his car. Life is less stressful in the Rana Horan camp. Ben Hunt pleased with his progress in the afternoon.
Yeah, the roads down here are fantastic. Obviously we struggled a fair bit in stage 2. With the longer wheelbase and that, it just trying to turn it in the slippery, muddy, pine needly conditions that we had was pretty difficult. And normally I go a bit better in the forestry, and if it's a bit slipperier, then it doesn't bother me. But I don't know, wasn't feeling it today. And but we've been slowly trying to claw back on Rana the last 3 or 4 stages. So I think we've gone from about a minute down to about 40 seconds. So we haven't got many Ks left, but we'll keep on trying.
Yeah, no, it's been an interesting morning so far, and there's been a lot of people drop out, and we've to keep going, which is good. And for us, we've just been ticking away and trying to make the most of it, get some more miles under the belt, and learn some things.
4 stages to run in the afternoon. Cricklewood, another fast-flowing stage. Ben Hunt came out firing after lunch, 2nd fastest on the stage, just 5 seconds behind Padden. Significant because he was taking time out of Horan. Horan 8.4 seconds slower, so now the gap just 34 seconds. Matt Summerfield in 4th, but the gap to Hunt growing to 48 seconds.
5 left plus 80.
Phil Campbell out of the running after his morning issue, but showing that he'll have the speed if they can sort the reliability and luck. Todd Borden starting to make up some time. 8th fastest, now just half a second behind McCrosty. A spectacular deep river crossing, one of the features of stage 8, and a close call for Hayden Padden. Stalling just before the water.
And I know Hayden's had real issues trying to keep the water out of this car, so as it turned out, it could have been a blessing in disguise. You don't want to swallow any water.
That time lost around 8 seconds. Ben Hunt taking a more aggressive approach.
For Ben, he's really got to chase down Rana, so he's got to make up every second he can.
Can Padden win every stage, or will Hunt spoil the party? Padden's time, 6 minutes 41. Hunt takes the stage win, half a second quicker. Rana Horan okay through the water. But drama at stage end.
It just shows this is not over until it's over. Literally the final corner of the stage, Rana's been caught out, and it's going to take a bit of time to get that car out of there.
Pat Summerfield next through. Ironically, the force of the water damaging the radiator, he would retire in the stage.
You have to pull over, baby. Okay.
Just let it pull down.
Regan Ross making a spectacular splash, but would survive that to move up to 3rd position. Mike Young showing more of the speed we'd expected in the Subaru, 3rd fastest on the stage. And Todd Borden moving up to 6th position.
And we can't wait to see him debut the R5 car at the next round. It's really hard to keep these old jiggers going, and they've done a great job.
Duncan McCrosty still in touch with Borden, just 1.4 seconds back in 6th. But retirement for Jono Shapley after a promising start.
And he's just another one that can't seem to catch a break this season.
So just one more gravel stage for the day, Howell Road, a new stage, so no records to be broken. Padden had accumulated a lead of over 3 minutes to Hunt by now, so he could have cruised home, but he didn't. Another stage win. Ben Hunt safe in 2nd spot now and heading for the podium. And Regan Ross booking his podium place, showing that consistency and reliability pay off in this game. Mike Young taking a well-deserved 4th place.
8 left 80, turn 2 right tarmac.
Todd Borden keeps his lead in Cat 1A, and if the new car is ready for Hawke's Bay, he'll park those points and join Category 1. Crosty trailing by a few seconds to be the final finisher in 4-wheel drive in 6th. So some playtime to finish the day at Levels Raceway and some grass cutting by the rally cars to end a tough day. So confirming the results for four-wheel drive, Hayden Padden takes out the rally, Ben Hunt in second, Regan Ross completes the podium in third, Mike Young, Todd Borden, Duncan McCrosty, Rana Horan, and a DNF for Robbie Stokes.
Yeah, good clean day. Obviously really enjoyed it. Amazing stages to drive on. So yeah, we had a bit of a push throughout the morning and built a bit of a gap. So this afternoon was just about maintaining that without taking any risks and keeping it nice and clean. And a couple of little things, stalling the car in the river and no clutch for the last couple of stages. So we've had to sort of cross our fingers a little bit here towards the end.
We got out of bed all right, but then stage 2 lost quite a bit of time to run and unfortunately went off later in the day. But from stage 3 onwards, right to the finish, we had a crack on trying to make back that deficit, and we were clawing back time, but unfortunately for Rana, he went off in one of those stages, and he's got the car out and finished, but he was going awesome and showing great speed all year.
Yeah, it's been a really good day. The road's been fantastic, and we haven't really had too much of a problem. We had a bit of a spin up in the forest, but other than that, we've been pretty tidy. We've ended up with another sort of gift, but yeah, that's the way it goes.
So Hayden Padden leads the championship, now 55 points clear of Ben Hunt, with 60 points up for grabs over the final 2 rounds. The runner-up battle is still close though, with Hunt, Ross, McCrosty, Horan and Marston all split by just 16 points. Borden leads category 1A over Matt Adams.
Next up, it's a return to the Hawke's Bay Rally, back in the championship after a decade. Stay tuned at NZRC.tv for more rally action from South Canterbury. Follow the New Zealand Rally Championship on Facebook for news and views.